Hi, this is Egídio Nascimento. I'm with Life Wellness, and today I'm going to give you an overview of one of our more popular packages, the Best of Portugal. It can be done as an accompanied small group package or as a private self-guided travel plan. Overview of the travel itinerary, the inclusions and exclusions, as well as some of the options that we have available for both hotels and transportation. But before we do that, just a quick overview on who we are and Life Wellness. Both Celeste and I are the ones that organize and coordinate the travel plans for the different groups. We are also the ones that accompany the small groups, both in the Azores and in Portugal as well. Life Wellness is a unique network of partners that are here to help you have the best experience that you can in your travels to the Azores and continental Portugal. We have accommodations ranging from yurts to organic farms, to bed and breakfasts, to 4- and 5-star hotels. We have over 50 accommodation partners in both the Azores and continental Portugal. We focus on small group travel to Portugal and the Azores. Typical group sizes range from 6 to 12 to 14 people on the high end for small group accompanied packages. We can do larger or smaller groups for private friends and family packages as well. We pride ourselves in tailoring travel plans that offer a low and slow travel philosophy. So what does that mean? It means traveling during the low season and at a slow pace of travel. So that means reasonable start times in the morning and when possible, getting back to the hotels with enough time for a walk before dinner. For those that like to get up early in the morning, that's not a problem. You'll have time to go out for a morning walk before breakfast. This also gives you more time to really take in the sights. For example, in the larger cities like Lisbon and Porto, you'll have some free time for yourself to take in the sights and see the things that are of specific interest to you. In addition to the Best of Portugal tour, we also have some other packages which might be of interest to you, including the Best of the Azores, which I think you should definitely check out. We also have some workshops and retreats that we have helped our partners with as well. Here are some examples of feedback that we've received from individuals that have participated in some of our workshops, as well as a guest from Hawaii that we developed a travel plan for the Azores for. I won't go through all of the comments, but I'll leave them here for you to have a look at. This is certainly something that we're quite proud of. We've been fortunate enough to help people put numerous travel plans together for both the Azores and continental Portugal. This is an example of one that we put together for a group of friends, 6 friends from central Canada, 6 women actually. They asked us to put a package together that included both the Azores and Portugal. So we combined the Best of the Azores and the Best of Portugal. If you haven't seen the Best of the Azores video, do have a look at that. So now let's drill down on the itinerary for the Best of Portugal. The core itinerary is 7 days, 7 nights, starting in Porto and ending in Lisbon. However, this could just simply be reversed, and you could start in Lisbon and finish in Porto. The itinerary would be identical. They would simply be reversed. And as we like to do with most of our packages, we like the first day to be a rest and recover day, part of the travel low and slow philosophy. And then we typically start the accompanied group tours with a group welcome dinner in the evening on the first day. And then once everyone is well rested, we start the next day with a half-day walking city tour of Porto. And as we mentioned in our go low and slow philosophy, we'd like to provide some free time. So the afternoon is free for individuals to personalize, to include things that they want to see while in Porto. For example, you might want to visit the Porto wine lodges in Vila Nova de Gaia, which is a short walking distance across the bridge from the Ribeira district. And as well, you might want to take in some of the city gardens, or perhaps do a 6 Bridges river cruise along the Douro River as well. And then in the evening, for those that are interested and have the energy, we typically offer an evening walking tour of the Ribeira district, and then we cross across the Dom Luís Bridge to Vila Nova de Gaia and walk along the other side of the Douro River. Spectacular view of Porto at night. The next day is a special day. It's a full day excursion along the Douro River. And that includes a riverboat ride, a train ride, as well as a visit to a local vineyard and some wine tasting as well. So a very complete day. Now that we've completed the 3 days in the Porto area, we'll start heading south. The first day, day 4, will be spent in Aveiro and Coimbra. In Aveiro, we'll get to do a Mocileiro boat tour. Those are reminiscent of the gondolas that they have in Venice, but these mocileiros are much larger and had a practical purpose in the day. They used to be used to carry and transport salt back and forth. And then we'll continue on to the historic university city of Coimbra. After visiting Coimbra, we'll continue on to Tomar for an overnight and an opportunity to walk around the very picturesque city of Tomar. We start day 5 with a visit to the Knights Templar Castle and Monastery in Tomar. Very unique site. We don't do many monasteries and castles as part of this package, but this is certainly one that we thought was special and should be included. So there's a visit to it. And then in the afternoon, we continue down to a medieval city of Óbidos. Óbidos is probably one of the best preserved medieval cities. We think that's a very special stop, and I think that would be quite enjoyable, very special. After finishing the visit in Óbidos, we continue to the hotel in Ericeira. It's a small town, but it's been a favorite. We've had some individuals who visited last year and just said, yep, this is where I want to buy a house. So there's an opportunity. This is where I'd want to live. You can even hear the waves crashing along the coast from your hotel window. On day 6, we continue on to one of my favorite cities in Portugal, Sintra. It's probably one of the most beautiful and picturesque cities in Portugal. So much to see and do in Sintra. The top 2 sites in Sintra are the Quinta da Rigaleira and the Palácio da Pena, both beautiful palaces to visit. However, we think the better experience right now, especially over the last few years, the increasing number of crowds at the Palácio da Pena has made it for a less interesting experience. And then we continue on to the seaside city of Cascais, very beautiful city. We'll stop at Boca do Inferno and do a walk through the historic city center. After the visit to Sintra and Cascais, we'll head over to our hotel in Lisbon. This is a good opportunity for anyone who wants to take in a fado night in Lisbon. This is the place to do it. Totally optional, not required to do it, but if anyone wants to do it, let us know and we can organize that. And then the next day, day 7, starts similar as we did in Porto with a half-day city-guided walking tour of Lisbon. So it provides you with an orientation. Then you have a free afternoon. Now, you can either take in the sites that you want to see, perhaps some shopping, perhaps the aquarium, the oceanarium that's in Lisbon, very beautiful. Or if you prefer to continue on with some sightseeing and continue the afternoon with Celeste and myself, and we'll do a walking visit of the sites in the Belém district. And as you'll see in the pictorial, those are an easy walking distance from one to the other, so we can do that in the afternoon. Or you can simply rest and relax. So that's a short overview of the 7 days and 7 nights as part of this package. They say pictures are worth 1,000 words, so we thought a video montage of the same itinerary with some examples of the sites that are included as part of this package. Hope you enjoy the video montage of these 7 days. Hope you enjoyed the video version of the itinerary. And as you saw at the end, there's, of course, some pre and post tour options. Don't have enough time to go through all of the different sites and places that you might want to also visit. But if you are interested in adding those to a package, do just reach out to us and we'll provide you some additional information. I'll now take you through a quick overview of the inclusion and exclusions for the Best of Portugal, both for the self-guided and the accompanied small group package. So as you can see here, both accommodations and breakfasts are included for both types of packages. For lunches and dinners for the self-guided packages, we leave that to the discretion of the individuals. It's self-paced, so depending on where the individuals are and what they're doing and their tastes and preferences are, leave that totally up to the travelers. With respect to the accompanied small groups, we do provide 3 dinners. We actually used to include all the dinners, but some of the feedback that we've gotten from individuals were that the preference was to have some dinners included, but not all dinners. So people had the flexibility to go out and explore and try some new places outside of the hotels as well. So we've built that in. We took that feedback seriously and have provided some additional flexibility. That's why we're only including the 3 dinners. Although Celeste and I could probably do the guided walking tours, we leave that to the professionals. And so we actually bring in professional city guides to do the guided walks through the city. So in both Lisbon and Porto, the 4-hour walks, half days. And then in Óbidos and Coimbra, we'll do smaller 2-hour walks. Both have 2 free half days, as we mentioned, in Lisbon and Porto. So you can tailor those to suit your preferences. With respect to land transportation, we'll show you some visuals of the options that we have, depending on the size of group, determines the whether it's a minibus, or for private groups, a minivan, or a full-size bus if it's a very large private group. With respect to air flights and related travel insurance, in neither case are they included, so they are not included. And the reason we have not included them is because nowadays with technology, there are so many flight options available. Some people want to use points, they want different connections, they want to fly at different times of the day. And some people want to use credit cards for their insurance. So we leave that, the flights and insurance, up to the individuals to book. What we'll do is coordinate the start days and the end days, including pre and post days if there are any. And then we'll certainly guide you and help you with flights, but you'll book that yourself. Some of the added benefits of an accompanied package compared to a self-guided do-it-yourself plan, we certainly think it's more complete, in-depth, and more authentic experience because there's accompaniment throughout the 7 days. There's added color that's provided throughout the trip, whether we're, even if we're driving, there's added explanations, discussions that we can have with locals, additional insights that are provided that you don't otherwise get. Another benefit is sometimes there's unexpected surprises that you just can't plan for. And so, for example, and it was actually a Best of Portugal tour, we were doing the optional walk of Porto at night, totally optional. Wasn't sure how many people were interested. Well, it turns out everyone was interested. So we all went for the beautiful walk at night, walked along the riverbank on Vila Nova de Gaia, had bought a bottle of port. And my wife thought it would be nice to show people what typical Portuguese folklore dancing was like. So she and I showed people what typical dance was like. And then she took it upon herself to provide a bit of a session for everyone. And that turned out to be the highlight of the evening, and something that you cannot plan for. So that was just one example of something that was totally unplanned, unexpected, and made the evening extra special, and people really enjoyed it. Another benefit is that help is always available as part of the accompanied small group tour, because you have, Celeste and myself to help you deal with the unexpected, whether it's a sole that falls off a shoe and we have to find a shoemaker, or we have to get a prescription filled at a local pharmacy. We run out and help do that as well. The best part for me to date has been the people that we've met along the way. And although people come as participants and guests, they leave as friends. And so the friendships that are created are certainly very special, and I think one of the best parts of doing a small group accompanied tour, where you do get to meet the other people that you're traveling with. Now, as far as accommodations for the Best of Portugal tour, we typically use the Vila Galé hotels. The Vila Galé group is one of the largest groups of hotels in Portugal. They have 31 hotels, including the one that just opened in the Azores. I put check marks by the hotels that we typically use for the best of Portugal. So they would be in Porto, Tomar, Ericeira, Cascais, and in Lisbon as well. In Porto, there are two options. There's the Vila Galé Ribeira, which is the one closer to the district that most people will want to be at, and also along the Douro River. It's very scenic, very nice. Short 20-minute walk, a slow 20-minute walk. If you're a normal pace is probably much less than that, but a short walk from the Ribeira district, which people will enjoy spending some time in. And then the other one as well is the Vila Galé Porto, also known as a Centre Hotel, also very walkable. That's where we stayed previously with a group that was doing the Best of Portugal tour. Very nice hotels. We typically suggest that people stay all at the same hotel. However, one place where there is an opportunity to upgrade is in Porto, because there is the Condes de Azevedo Palace. These are apartments that are less than a kilometer, so less than half a mile from the Ribeira district, so very walkable. It's a special experience. And so if you wanted to do that, we could look to provide an upgrade for you for that as well. With respect to some of the other places that we'll be visiting and staying at, I mentioned we will be staying at the Vila Galé in Tomar, at the Vila Galé in Ericeira, and there that aerial view of the hotel in Ericeira gives you an overview of why people like staying there so much. So in Lisbon and Cascais, we have stayed at the Vila Galé Opera, which is in Lisbon, and the Vila Galé Cascais, both nice hotels. The one in Lisbon is closer to the bridge, and so on occasion we have used an alternative option, which we like using as well because of its location. Another added benefit of the VIP Executive Arts Hotel is that it is 2 blocks away from the Orient train and metro station and near the shopping center, the Oceanarium, very convenient. It's 2 metro stops from the airport, very, very doable on the metro. And so we have used that as an option as well. With respect to transportation, we work with a trusted partner, and we've selected them based on the vehicles that they own and the comfort and security that they offer. With accompanied small groups, we'll typically use the 2 minibuses that have the check marks. We only use the large bus and the small minibus when we have private groups that have a small number of people or an extremely large number of people as well. Just to provide you some additional insight. So for example, we never try and pack people in. So on an 8-passenger minibus, we will only put 6 people. So if there were 7 people that were going, we wouldn't use this minibus. We would actually use the 16-passenger bus for added comfort. For groups that are 7 to 12 people, we will use a 16-passenger minibus. And the reason for this is just to have enough space, some added comfort. As you can see, the seating there is an aisle in the middle with 1 seat on one side and then 2 seats on the other side and a full row along the back. So throughout, there would be some free seats. We've used this vehicle before. It's very comfortable, very nice. The other one for larger groups of 13 or more people, we'll typically use this 30-person minibus. Of course, we will not be anywhere near the 30 people, but again, just for added comfort and safety, we will always round up. There are a couple of large buses available as well, but as I mentioned, we would only use these 50-passenger buses for a private group tour. So large groups of friends and family that need the extra space. And in here, if we were, I would say 25 people plus, you're probably looking at this bus versus the smaller 30-passenger bus. Just a quick note on flights. Although we don't book the flights, just some visibility as far as getting to Portugal. There are many direct flights from North America, even probably more so than the cities that I've mentioned there. But just to give you an idea, Toronto, Boston, New York, you're looking at 6.5 to 7 hours direct flight. And for anyone looking to do a side trip to the Azores, I just added in there the 2.5 hour flight to the Azores. So it's a very simple add-on for anyone that's interested. With respect to direct flights from Europe, there's just too many to list, all flying into Lisbon and Porto, and some into Faro as well in the south of Portugal. But for this tour, most relevant would be flying into Porto and Lisbon. And then from there are also direct flights from Porto and Lisbon direct to the Azores as well. Not only to Ponta Delgada, which is the main island, but also to some of the smaller islands as well. Now, as I mentioned earlier, with the group from Canada that put these two packages together, that is an option. If anyone has an interest in having a private group or a group of friends and family participate in an expanded tour, that is always a possibility. So just reach out to us, and we can put a tailored plan together for you. And there you have it. That's an overview of our Best of Portugal package. We'd love to hear your feedback. What would you have included in your version of this package? Feel free to add a comment below or send us an email. If you'd like to join myself and Celeste on an accompanied small group tour, or if you prefer private self-guided package with friends and family, send us an email at reservations@lifewellnessazores.com. Be sure to share this with friends and family that are looking to explore either Portugal or the Azores Islands. If you've enjoyed this video and want to see more, be sure to like and subscribe. Safe travels, everyone.